especially if you are a masculine woman or a woman who's comfortable in her masculine energy. This one thing will help you tap into your feminine energy. Kia ora, my name is Auntie Angel, also known as Angel the Maori Messenger, and I've spent a few years really working on my own feminine energy and helping other women do the same. Now, we live in a primarily masculine world, meaning that the value that we place upon ourselves is often on things like achievements, what we are accomplishing, how hard we can push ourselves, and especially right now, how good can we lock in. What's extremely important is when I speak about feminine energy, I am not ignoring the power of masculine energy. Both of these things are extremely important, and in order for us to thrive as women, we must cultivate a balance that feels nourishing and supportive for us. So this video, I hope to break down one of my favorite things that I recommend you do if you're trying to heal your feminine energy. What is feminine and masculine energy? On a fundamental level, it's the polarity of energy. Very much like yin and yang, black and white, feminine and masculine are simply ways to explain energy that is always constantly evolving in our field. Masculine is to give, feminine is to receive. Yes. That's the simplest way I can describe it. Masculine energy includes the qualities of holding space, creating structure, momentum, action, and pushing forward, while feminine energy on a simplistic level is the act of receiving or reception, the ability to flow, intuit, and create, move more seasonally and cyclically, returning to that reception. The masculine's also logical. Yes. Now, we can extend on these energies, but what we can find is if we are balanced in our energy as a woman, we get to create better within the structure that we build for ourselves. We get to intuit better whilst also understanding the logics behind it. We get to surrender and trust, right, the reception and the feminine receivership, whilst also understanding that we must take action and move forward by taking practical steps to manifest or bring to life what we desire. The one thing that I always recommend to women who are trying to reclaim their feminine energy first is tapping into their creativity. Our creativity is very connected to our feminine life force. And for women who are primarily masculine and desire to change that, creativity is a lot more tangible. It might be easier to pick up a new creative hobby rather than going out there and trying tantra for the first time. For those women, it might be a lot easier to pick up poetry or music or painting as opposed to going back and healing their womb and revisiting those womb stories. All of these things are extremely important, but creativity is extremely tangible. We can tap into this really easily, and it not only supports our feminine energy, but it helps us in areas like perfectionism, judgment upon ourselves, and comparison. When you heal your creativity, you start to experience your own unique essence. When you heal through your creativity, you don't just have to tell your story from a logic perspective, but you get to express your story. You get to explore your story, tap into your story. What I will say is that women fundamentally are being creative all day. So if you have a limiting belief that makes you believe I am not a creative person, I am going to challenge that. I can guarantee that you've most likely rearranged your furniture, chosen intentional outfits, or even made a meal plan for the week. These all use your creativity, but we're only valuing it when it adds to productivity, which is what we're trying to move away from when we're trying to heal our energy. Creativity is not just for productivity, it's for connection, intuition, expression, storytelling, healing, opening, revealing. So if you're trying to reclaim this part of your story, this is how I recommend you go about it. 1, release judgment. Creativity is an act of seeing where you go. And one of my favorite books that helped me receive this knowing is The Creative Act by Rick Rubin. I've recommended it to lots of people to read. It's super easy, and it really ties in the concept of our intuition and our creativity working together. Use the resources you already have first. chances are you've probably already got something in your cupboard that you've been wanting to do. I literally have 2 guitars sitting right next to me and lots of arts and crafts inside my kids' arts and crafts cabinet. I have journals that I've written poetry in that are all right within this room. It's important that you teach yourself that creativity is accessible and important. Number 3, you may need to create some sort of structure around it. When I was first beginning to do this, I made it a daily non-negotiable. Again, using some of that masculine energy and masculine drive to make sure that I do get my creative energy out there. Now, what happens when you start to express this is you start radiating a new energy. You unlock your sacral energy, the energy in your womb space, your life force energy, and you start unlocking, as I said before, your unique essence. It starts to light your life on fire, and there's no limit to where your creativity can positively support your life. For me personally, I started to understand that I could use my creativity not only in the pursuit of myself, but also in my motherhood, in my relationships, and my family life, my extended family. I started to do things like plan events and things to do with my family. I planned group holidays, and especially in my work as an entrepreneur, it was extremely helpful to release things like comparison and trusting my own innate ability to storytell. So creativity is absolutely one of the things that I recommend you tap into. If this resonates with you, let me know. I've got a lot of powerful workshops and teachings that I can share on YouTube for this. And if you have a question, let me know. Sending you so much love. If you'd like to book a session with me, use the link, or if you haven't already, subscribe. I am at the beginning of my YouTube journey, but I do hope to reach as much people with as much healing information as I can. So much love and happy creating.